Hi guys, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. In today's reading, we're going to take a look at what the Eclipse Portal is bringing in for you. What transformations, any guidance, any support that's being offered to you through this portal gateway. So we have 3 pile choices. We're going to go ahead and get your significator card to help you select your pile. Number 1. Number 2. One more. Number 3. This one. Okay. Turn that off. We have, for pile number 1, we have this card, and that is with Smokey Quartz. Pile number 2, we have this card, and that is with Carnelian. And for pile number 3, oh wow, you got 2 cards. Let's do the bottom one here. We have this card with green opal. Interesting. Okay. These are your pile choices for today's reading. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps will be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your readings. Welcome to your reading, pile number 1. Let me make sure the camera is recording. Okay. So you were drawn to the Smoky Quartz Palm Stone and this card here, and it's a number 5, which represents change and transformation. And we have this woman who's about to walk off the ledge. So I feel like you are about to take a leap of faith. You're about to go on an adventure. There's something new on the horizon for you. Maybe you are letting go of some things of the past and being a little bit more optimistic about your future. Yeah, some of you may be going on a journey, taking a trip. I feel like this is a self-discovery journey. Maybe you're being asked to go, to follow your heart and be a little bit more optimistic about your future. Some of you, your ship's about to come in. A leap of faith, and that's with the Smoky Quartz. So I feel like you're being asked to surrender and let go of some things that may have been holding you back. Some old energies, old perspectives. And Smoky Quartz is a great crystal to help ground and transform lower vibrational energies, old energies, and it helps cleanse and transmute them. So maybe there's some things that you're letting go, that you're freeing yourself from, some burdens, some old mindsets, some things need to be let go of so that you can step forward on a new path, a new beginning, one that's filled with more light, more hope, more inspiration, success. All right, let's see what the cards want to say. We have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Nice. Okay, more letting go of some burdens, letting go of feeling so bogged down, enjoying life a little bit more. We have the sun coming out here too, more success, more happiness, more good things, more light coming in. Moon, intuition, subconscious emotions. Okay, things are not as they appear. Yeah, maybe you've had some old perspectives, some old habits, old behaviors. Maybe your perceptions are shifting. You're coming out of the mind, the mental programming, and listening to your heart a little bit more. I feel like maybe there's yeah, shift in the energy, not being so mind oriented and engaging a little bit more in your heart and your excitement and your feminine energies, going with the flow. Not trying to be something for everyone, actually just allowing yourself to be and exist and be yourself. Don't be so serious. Yeah, and learning to enjoy life. Yeah, I feel like you are going on a journey, or during this eclipse, you're being asked to let go of the things that make you feel like you aren't good enough, or that you have to be a certain kind of way, you have to fit into this box, and it's letting those airs go, you know, allowing yourself to be who you want to be, to have more fun, to enjoy life, to follow your heart, be a little more optimistic, separation and love. Yeah. Okay. More confirmation. Maybe you're even trying to live up to other people's expectations, other people's standards of what things should look like. And we have the ring here that cycles. So there's a pattern or something that's been repetitive. And I feel like you are learning to let that go and go on an adventure. You're being asked to let that go so that you can have something new come in. And that's the way things work. Like, you can't hold on to, you know, certain situations or jobs or people in your life that aren't for your highest good. You know, they're not meant to be in your life forever, and that's how you know that you're meant for something bigger. You're meant for something more, because they will naturally fall away on their own. As the more that you grow and the more that you start to learn to love yourself and take care of yourself and follow your heart, you will be guided to the things that are meant for you. So sometimes it may be hard to let go of people, or to make those changes, you know, and it feels like it's, you know, very scary, because you're not sure what to expect or where you're going to go, and it creates a little bit of anxiety. But that's where you have to trust in your heart, trust in your abilities, that you will always land on your feet, that you're always going to be guided to the things that are meant for you, that are meant to elevate your life. We have spring, planting seeds, plans, preparation, putting in the work. I love that this came out during this reading, because we were about to move into spring, and this eclipse is happening just in the time frame of the equinox, the shift and everything that's about to take place. So during this time frame, you're being asked to follow your heart more, to let go of the burdens, to let go of those restrictions that we allow others to place on ourselves, and to have more fun, to celebrate life, to see things from a different perspective, to come out of the mind and the limitations that we place on ourselves by listening to our mind instead of following our heart and our intuition. And I love that we have the moon come out. We just had an eclipse. We have the sun and the moon here. Ooh, we have Leo shine. Yeah. Time to rise up. Stand in your strength. Acknowledge your strength. Yeah. Share your voice. Empower yourself with your truth. You know, shine your true light. And it's another 5 here. So we have 55. Which is a lot of big change, a lot of divine change. It's time for you to begin this journey. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to awaken to your true self, to your leadership roles, to follow your heart here. You know, the Leo rules the heart. But they also are like very connected to the inner child here. So maybe there's some healing that needs to occur with your inner child sometime in your past, maybe, where you felt not good enough, or you needed to play small to fit into other people's boxes, and it's time for you to pull yourself out the box, start a new journey, and to come more into your authenticity, to being your true self and shining your unique light. You know, you're not meant to be a copy of everyone else. You're meant to be unique and to be inspirational, someone who stands up for others, somebody who's a guide, a teacher. It's going to take, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some courage to face these fears, of the things that you need to let go of and transform. It's not something that's, it's not easy to acknowledge our pain and to face our fears. It does take strength. It does take courage and determination and repetition. It's constantly applying the changes in our mindsets and our belief systems and the things that maybe we've been too comfortable in for so long, and we've just accepted it instead of cutting the cords to those burdens, to the past, to the pain, and acknowledging that it was part of our experience, but it's not something that needs to be your story your entire life. This is where you change the mindset of being the victim to now becoming the victor, rising up out of that, out of the darkness, out of the shadows, and embracing your light, embracing your, the things that are waiting for you to claim them. You can't just sit back and wait for all the good things to fall into your life. There has to be some effort applied, and you have to let go of the things that are weighing you down and holding you back and keeping you in the dark, and where you're not embracing your true authentic self, or embracing your power and empowering yourself to see your light, to see the good things that are around you everywhere, the things that you can be grateful for, that you do have the power to choose what it is you want to create in your life. What are the seeds you want to plant? What do you want for yourself, And Spirit, your guides, they want to see you empower yourself. They want to see you moving forward. They want to see you growing into your full potential and not being, stunted by the obstacles that you've had to go through, and not allowing them to hold you back anymore. It's stepping into your blooming phase, because you went through this. How did you transform it? And it requires you to go into the darkness, to shift your perception, to heal your inner child. And we have number 8 here with the Scorpio, and that's about, rebirth, transforming the shadows and coming into your light, coming into your truth, realizing that you have limitless potential here. And we have the 8, and the 8 represents the karmic balance, the end of cycles and the beginning of a new cycle. And the Scorpio, the Scorpio has a sting, it can be very, harsh, and what's the word I want to say? They're known for that spitting tongue, for that poison, and when we heal from our pain, the Scorpion transforms into the Phoenix, It is rising up from the ashes, rising up from everything that you've been through, and transforming that pain to making it the soil that you grow from. This is what happened to me, and this is what I chose to do with this, with my life. I chose to become somebody who was like this, to inspire others, that you can go through these hardships, you can go through these challenges and these traumas and these life situations, but you can make the best of them and become this. You don't have to let it tear you down and hold you back from becoming who you are meant to be. We have patience, slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. Take your time during this eclipse to address what needs to be addressed, what needs to be healed, what needs to be transformed. And then what is it that you want to ground now into your life? What do you want your foundation to be? Because the foundation that we were given as children, we can't help our family environment. That's just what we were born into. But as you get older, you can then choose, who's around you, who you allow in your life, who you set those boundaries for yourself and against too, from, coming at you with negative energy or toxic, lower vibrational energy, or trying to force you to be somebody that you're not. It's making sure that you are connecting with your true self. What do you value? Who do you love? How do you love? You know, what is your ideas on how you see things? Not based on anybody else's opinions, but it's finding like the core of your own belief system, you know, and questioning those things and challenging, why do you judge this, or why do you see this, why do you look at yourself this way, why do you talk to yourself this way, why are you not allowed to express this version of yourself? And, you know, says who, you know, it's questioning all those things. It's like going and learning to investigate yourself, investigating your mind, investigating your thoughts. Where do they come from? Investigating your feelings and acknowledging where they come from and why you still feel this way. And when you start learning to do that, you evolve and you grow and you move forward. You're no longer stuck in a pattern and in a cycle. We have judgment. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. Yeah. Where are you judging yourself? Where do you judge others? And where does that judgment come from? You know, and having patience with yourself because you were taught these things. And I always see things and I compare us to computers, and I use plants and animals and everything too, because it's using the environment around us for self-reflection. So, and what can we use? So the computer, if we are all programmed, you know, as children to see things the way our parents saw things, to see things the way society says, this is how it should look, and this is how we should all live by these types of rules, you know, we shall dress like this is what's appropriate, you know, and this is what fits us into everybody's mold. And some of us, because we're not brave enough to allow ourselves to be different and question, you know, why I don't understand that doesn't make sense to me, and for me I see things like this. Not everybody's brave enough to be their authentic selves, because to be different means something bad, you know. And as when we're children, if you were different, you were picked on, you were bullied, you know, you were shamed, you were into hiding who you really were, you know, you didn't feel safe. So as we become adults, we tend to do that to ourselves now. It's not everybody around us saying those things to us. We have those tapes playing in us that don't make us feel safe to be ourselves or to express our difference of opinion or anything like that, because we're afraid that we're going to be attacked or ashamed, you know, shamed and criticized and all those things. And it takes courage to stand up and say, I don't care what y'all think. I really don't need your approval. My happiness isn't based on your approval. And it's learning to stand up for yourself and to investigate, where do these thoughts come from? Where does my fear come from? And acknowledging the source of it so that you can heal from those wounds, and then now step into your power, into your authenticity, to shine your light and become your true self, and to live from your heart, live from your passions, and expressing yourself without fear of anybody else, you know, wanting to attack you or shame you. And if they do, everybody's allowed their own opinion, and, you know, it's whose approval are you looking for, you know, and it really should just be your own. It doesn't need to be anything outside of you. And it's that self-validation, self-love that you're being asked to engage in during this eclipse. To love yourself more, live from your heart space, not live from your mind and those programs of the past. Ooh, you got the chrysanthemum stone. Intuition, optimism, and Akashic records, which is almost pretty much what this whole reading's been about. It's growing from the soil, you know, growing from the pain and everything that you've been through, and illuminating the darkness, illuminating the fears, so that you can grow with this cherry tree here. And we have this Jupiter, and we have let's say it's a waxing moon here. So it's this new beginning of expansion and growth, which is what you're going to be stepping into after you heal from the past. You know, you're going to have this higher perspective. And we have the groundhog here. It's about going deep into the soil, into your roots, to see what it is that was planted there so long ago. What are the seeds of intention that your parents gave you, that society gave you? You know, even from past lives, these can be things that you are constantly being trapped into, you know, this cycle of patterns that have been repeating, and it's time for you to break out of the mold and to embrace your authentic self, you know, following your heart, listening to your intuition, and that we are always, you know, we are eternal beings. So this lifetime you were given that opportunity to step outside of this box, to end this cycle from repeating over and over again, and to plant new seeds of intentions. How do you see yourself? You know, what do you want to empower yourself with, and give yourself confidence to grow, to see your own self, your own choices from a different perspective. What else we have? So I got two little guides for you that wanted to come out. We have the World Angel of Peace. It's time to make peace. Lift out of the chaos. Focus on Spirit's tenacious love to transform. And we have the snake coming out, you know, along with the Scorpio. It is time for change and transformation. It's time to evolve out of these cycles. You're here to help shift the earth, to shift out of these old, outdated systems that have been in place for so long. It's time for us to move forward as a species, as a collective here on Earth, and to embrace our authentic selves, to embrace all aspects of our being, not just listening to our mind and feeding our ego. It's listening to our heart and acknowledging things that make us feel, you know, good, and things that make us feel, you know, unsafe. Those are all signs. When you listen to your intuition, you will be guided to who is somebody that is truly authentic. They honor their word, their actions back up their words. You know, they're not just somebody who can parrot information. They actually are who they represent themselves to be. They actually live by their word. And that's somebody you want to hold in your life, because that's somebody who knows who they are. Versus somebody who's trying to put on a show for other people. They tell you this, but their actions don't back it up. They're doing something completely different than what they're, you know, presenting to you. That is somebody to have boundaries with, because it's somebody who's trying to get approval from everybody. They want you to see, this is who I am. That could be who they want to be, but they're not actually living from that space. You know, they're not living their word. They're just speaking it out loud, but they're not actualizing it, you know, and that's because they have things that they're not working through, and they have their own set of problems. And sometimes those people can hurt you because they're more about self than they are about, you know, being in service to others and working together. All right, we have Joan of Arc, Sacred Activist. Do not be afraid. Stand up for your beliefs. I love that. That sword of truth, you know. It's standing up for your inner child, for allowing your inner child to be heard, to be acknowledged, that they have ways that they want to express themselves, and it may be different than this person or different than other people that you know, but that's what makes this world so beautiful. That's what makes each flower so beautiful, because we have so many different kinds. Each one's so different and unique, and it has its own beauty, its own smell. And we love that about this world, is that there's so many different kinds. So why are we all being forced to be the same? You know, it's not, we're taught not to express our originality and to conform and be like everyone else and don't stand out. You know, don't shine your unique light. Why not? Why not? I never understood that when I was younger. And I too have felt this way. So I completely understand pile number one. I didn't feel safe. I didn't agree to a lot of things that I saw people in my life, how they treated one another, how we choose to live our lives and everything, what we value as a success and happiness in our lives. And I could never conform to it. So I just kind of, tried to blend in as much as I could. And then there just became times where I just rebelled against it. And I expressed myself however I wanted to. I wore my hair however I wanted. I dressed however I wanted. Sometimes I'd wear boy clothes. Sometimes I'd wear girl clothes. I'd wear tight clothes, baggy clothes. I'd wear, you know, really wild, radical makeup here and there. I just love to express myself, and I wanted to inspire other people that, you know, I got picked on too. I had people make fun of me, people stare at me, people push people into me and stuff. And, you know, it did hurt my feelings. I'm not saying that it didn't, it did. But, you know, I wanted to be me. And it came with its own, you know, backlashing things. But it does take a lot of courage and confidence, whether you realize it or not, to be yourself. And so you're being asked to stand in your truth, into your light, and to shine your light and embrace that journey. You're going on a journey of self-discovery, remembering who you are, letting go of the things of the past that don't serve you, coming more into balance with the heart and mind, and not so much in your mind, healing the body, healing the inner child, standing up for your truth and your own belief system here. And I feel like over the next 2 weeks, you're going to see so much so many things shifting for you. Things are going to be blooming. It's like you're going to be blooming from healing the soil, you know. And if you see us as plants, we have to nurture the soil. And then the soil is where we root ourselves and our belief systems. What are our belief systems? And if we have weeds that are growing from our past, from our childhood, from other people's beliefs, and they're not seeds that we intended to plant, we need to go root them out, pull them out, get rid of them, ground them, return them to Mother Earth. Say thank you for the lessons that you've taught me. These are the new seeds that I want to plant. I want to plant more confidence in myself, more heart-based belief systems where I allow myself to shine my light, where I have understanding and compassion for others, and I let go of any judgments that I have about myself and about other people. I allow everybody else to find their own way, focusing more on me and my path and my needs and things that make me happy, you know, because my happiness comes first now. It's not everybody else, what everybody else wants, what everybody else wants you doing. And, you know, they got you so far away from your own needs and your own happiness, you know, that sometimes we just forget about who we are and we lose ourselves. So this is about coming back to center, finding that happiness within, finding your own peace, your own center, which I think everybody in the world needs to do, you know, to be honest. So thank you so much for being here, pal number one. This was your reading. If you resonated with this message, or I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you feel like sharing your story, or if you don't know what to say, just let me know. Pile number one was yours. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. I'm sending you guys so much love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. I mean, I might as well just push the button myself. Welcome to your reading, pile number two. You were drawn to the Carnelian and this card, which is number 24. So 6. Material comforts, family, home. This card is about feeling trapped, and sometimes we can perceive ourselves to be stuck in situations in life where we have no choice. And that is only due to our perception. Sometimes we feel like we are stuck in certain positions, maybe that are being forced on us by our family, by our situation, maybe by our home life, or commitments that you have to maybe your family, to friends, maybe even to yourself, you know. And sometimes we put ourselves in these boxes, or we put ourselves in a space of feeling limited, like there's no way out, that we're just stuck, you know. And sometimes we do that to ourselves. We end up limiting ourselves, and that it is because of our belief system, and our perception of our life, of what we're going through. And there may be a way out, and we just aren't able to perceive it. And sometimes it takes us to maybe talk to somebody about what we're going through, or even to journal about it, and look at things from different angles to see how you can, you know, make even small changes will help shift the energy around so that you don't feel trapped. But yeah, this card represents feeling stuck, unable to move, like you are surrounded. There's no, there's no way out. You're perceived being, trapped. I can only say it so many times. But yeah, let's see what else wants to come through from this portal for you, pile number 2. What is the eclipse message for you, other than you feeling like you're stuck or that you have nowhere to go, no movements forward? We have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestic, Mystic, Teacher. Okay. So some feminine wisdom coming in for you. Let's see what else we have. Family foundation. Commitment, home, marriage. Okay, so this may be where you feel trapped. You maybe feel trapped in your family's, like the lineage, a karmic cycle here. Maybe this is the way that everybody's always done things. This is the way that they have taught you to believe things. Maybe you're meant to fit into a certain type of mold. You know how sometimes you can have like grandparents who were like athletes, and then your parents were athletes, and now they want you to be an athlete and carry on a family tradition. And maybe your excitement and your passion isn't necessarily sports and athletics. Maybe it could be you want to be a writer or a teacher or something. And because we have the teacher coming through, maybe you're a little bit more connected to the spiritual realm, and they're a little bit more materialistic, and you're wanting to break out of that and be your true self, but you feel like you're stuck because you want your family's approval and you want their acceptance, but you're afraid that if you were to be who you want to be, that you would disappoint them, and so you feel like there's like you can't really be yourself because you're afraid of disappointing them and letting them down in some way. And that's understandable. Let's see if there's any other message. We have release, purge, surrender, emotional release, clearing, and walking away. Okay, let me get the other one. Higher self, activation, integration, awakening, timeline shift. Let's do the other one. We have nurture, protective, compassionate love, sincere feelings, and wants to take care of you. Okay, so I feel like through this eclipse, you may be seeing how you are limiting yourself, where you are placing yourself into a box, where you're holding yourself back, and you're being asked to cleanse and heal and step into your higher self and nurture your dreams. Perhaps maybe speak to your family members. Have you tried communicating with them and expressing, your passions, your desire? Maybe you don't really want to, you see things this way, you want to move forward in a different direction. You have another talent that you're really, really good at, and you're here to bring something new to the family. Yes, my family is known for this, but we also have this, like we're multi-talented. Maybe you can devote time to both aspects. Is there any way where you can schedule in time for you to have your needs met? Because really that's what needs to be happening. You need to make sure that you are nurturing yourself and nurturing your own inner fire, your own desires, things that you're passionate about, and not feeling like you're not allowed to do what makes you happy. You're not allowed to live a life that, is fulfilling for you. You feel like you're being forced to do what makes everybody else happy, and just kind of going along with it instead of deciding to do something, that's more in line with who you are and what makes you feel good. What your truth is, your higher self, where your talents originate from. Because I feel, as we incarnate through these many life cycles, we are constantly learning and growing, and we gather different schools and abilities through each life cycle. And so, there's so many things that you're good at that you may have no clue that you're that good. You know, I mean, that you have that ability. And that happens to all of us. Like, I had no clue that I would be very, very good at growing plants until I started to have a garden. You know, I didn't know that I was going to be good at baking or cooking until you start doing it. You know, even painting, I had no idea that I had the skills and the talents to paint, and I can paint. And I don't know where it came from. I never did it when I was younger. I didn't take any classes or lessons on it. It just is a natural ability and gift. And we don't know what is within us until we try to engage in those activities, until we try them out. And so, yes, this may be something that your family's good at, or, you know, what they've always done, but there's something else within you that is something that you can bring forward, something that you can add to, you know, the benefit of the collective, of the family, of generations, of, you know, society and everything like that. There's something else that you may be very good at that needs to come forward, that needs to be shared with everyone else. You know, there's something within you that needs to be nurtured and needs to be shared. We have the sun. Yay. I love that. We are just coming through the eclipse, you know. It happened yesterday. So we're also about to enter in spring, so the equinox is coming in as well, but we have this light coming in that is wanting to bring in more happiness, more support, more optimism, shining more light on the places of the mind that may be trapped in the darkness or trapped in fear or traumas of the past. Maybe there's something that happened in your childhood that made you feel like you couldn't express yourself or shine your light. You and pile number 1 have a similar reading here, but coming from a different aspect of it, where you feel limited, you feel trapped, you feel like there is no way to move forward, and there is, and Spirit wants you to know that you can. It just requires you to shift perspective and to see things from a different way, and to engage in more things that are more uplifting and inspiring and make you feel more happy, versus trying to force yourself into a mold for somebody else. We have the Ascendant, which is entrance, your rising sign, whatever that is. We have this little kitty here, and I was drawn to Leo for some reason. Some of you may be a Leo, and we also have the Sun, which Leo is ruled by the Sun. So some of you may be a Leo, some of you may be meant for leadership, you know, and also coming through is having courage to allow your inner child to shine their light, to bring their truth. And I feel like you are somebody who's incarnated into this particular family to bring in this light, to shift their perspective, to shift the ways of doing things, shift that foundation, cleansing, healing it. This is not, you know, going to bring in that healing to the family line. You know, it's just perpetuating a certain cycle over and over again, where the child's needs or the child's talents aren't being nurtured. They're kind of being forced to go into a certain direction, because it's being pushed upon them to be a certain, you know, a certain type of professional, you know what I mean, or have a certain type of mindset, or like I said, I keep going back to whatever the career is. So I feel like somebody's being forced to be in a certain role that's not really inspiring to them. It doesn't reach the core of you, you know, and it's starting to, you're feeling like you're not being fulfilled, that, you know, you're unhappy, you're not finding happiness in your life, and it's because you are not really honoring your truth and shining your light and your whole purpose for incarnating here. You know, what did you come here to bring? There's something you're meant to bring forward, to share with the collective. And the more you stand in your truth and shine your light, the more can be spread upon the planet. You know, the more light, the more love, the more authenticity, not hiding the light and hiding in the dark and feeling stuck. You know, like there's no forward movement. You know, think about women and how forward, women have had to come and push through to have equal rights with men. You know, I mean, if we didn't have people standing up for their truth, we wouldn't be where we are today. So just put that in your pocket, that you are here to, you know, usher in the strength and the confidence that other people who are incarnated into the same situation as you are, where you're being forced to play a role that's not necessarily your truth, but it's something that, you know, your parents kind of maybe guilt you into doing, or, you know, would like you to follow their path and their journey. And, you know, I can understand when you see things from like your parents' point of view, right? Like they have, let's say this is generational wealth, let's say. They have created a name and built up a business, you know, and they have this brand, or they have this, you know, this energy out there, this stronghold. And it has supported the family in generations for many generations, right? And it has made it easier for the generations to follow, to be able to have a healthy, stable foundation, right? But, you know, and they want their kids to be able to reap the benefits from it. But what they're not, you know, and sometimes they can force that onto others to pick that up and continue leading it on, so that they, you know, pass that same thing down. But they don't anticipate a child that doesn't want to follow that line, you know, because for them, like, it would be so much easier. Your life would be easier. Your life would be made for you, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, that's not my passion. Like, I appreciate everything that you know, that this offers me and that this gives me. And I validate all the hard work that you put into, and it has given me, you know, this foundation. But I really want to go in a different way, you know what I mean? And maybe my children would want to take on, you know, the family lineage. Maybe, you know, it skips a generation, and it's having that confidence to be your truth, and to say your feelings, and to express yourself, you know, and hopefully trust that your parents, or your, you know, whatever this is, understands and allows you to express yourself, that they can both still exist and be of value. But maybe, you know, you're not the one to carry the legacy forward. Maybe there's somebody else that it needs to pass on to. And, you know, I think they're afraid that hard work's just going to be wasted. And it wasn't. It's what got them through, and whoever else picked it up, it helped them out as well. But, you know, some things aren't maybe meant to carry on and live on forever. So eventually everything has its time and place, and it's time to move forward. So it's not your fault. It's not your burden to carry for everybody else. It's time to let it go, and to, you know, hopefully everybody finds acceptance in their own way. But it's time for you to let that go, and to stand in your truth, and to stand in your, you know, talents and what you want to accomplish for yourself. So we have the Fool. Have the courage to embrace change. Take risk and be adventurous. Thank you. So this is that journey. You know, don't be afraid to step onto a new path and begin something new for yourself, you know. We have celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Look at that. And there's this gift that's waiting for you. I feel like it's your gift, your light that's waiting for you to step on. Step up and rise up. We have Obsidian. Integration, protection, and truth seeker. Okay, so obsidian is a stone that is very reflective. It's very protective, and it reflects to you like the way that you see yourself, the way that you see things. But it's also very protective. And we have these volcanoes. They're not erupting, and they're facing each other. So you're being asked to be balanced in your emotions, so that you aren't having any kind of like eruption, you know what I mean, or this explosive energy. Go within and see what it is that, you know, has you maybe in a place of fear or doubt. Where do you feel like you're you know, you're not good enough. Maybe there's some anger. Maybe you're angry that you've allowed yourself to, you know, force yourself into a mold to try to fit in with everybody, or to make everybody else feel better. And so you may be even angry at yourself even, or angry at them for feeling like they're forcing you into a place that you don't want to be, or forcing you to be somebody that's not really you. A good way to handle those things are to do some journaling, maybe go walking out in nature, exercising to burn off the energy, where you can have some more self-examination. You know, it's going within and learning yourself, learning your truth. What is it that you have buried, so that you can address what it is that's buried, so that you don't have any you know, like outbursts or reactions. You can respond, you know, from a place of calm, centered, grounded energies. And we have this, I forget the name of this dog, but I know it has something to do with, I believe it's Canada, you know, where it's super, super cold, but they're a very protective dog. So you're being very protective right now, while you're going through this. And we have this wildflower, you know, and wildflowers, they grow in the most, like, harshest soils and environments, you know, and they don't need somebody to take care of them. They just will, you know, they fend for themselves almost. And I feel like this is about you being more independent, and not really relying so much on anybody else's opinion, or to support you, or to like hold your hand through this. It's you being more self-reliant, self-resilient, more independent on yourself and on your own ability to create the life that you want, you know. And we also have these Canadian geese here. You know, and geese, they mate for life. I feel like this is about you committing to yourself, making that commitment to yourself to begin this path, to begin this journey of self-discovery, of allowing yourself to be free from limitations, of being held in this box, of having to fulfill a role that's not really beneficial, or making you feel like you yourself are happy and fulfilled. Oops, wrong way. What do we have? We have topaz, relaxing, successful, and inner vision. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you have this image of happiness in your mind and your heart, and you're the one who holds the key to unlocking your happiness, to finding your success, to finding your peace, the things that light you up. Follow your heart, allow your heart to grow, to expand, follow your intuition, let that be your guide. And you have all these hands reaching out to you, like, and it's over the ancestor cards, and I felt the ancestors coming through here, and I feel like they want you to know that you are loved, that you are supported, that you're being guided to stand in your light and your truth, that you are doing this for, you know, your family, your future foundations, even, where you allow even your children to express their unique gifts and their unique self, and whatever way that is, and to empower them so that they don't feel limited, or like they have to fit into a certain box or a mold in order to be accepted. Inner vision. Yeah, turn your gaze more inward. Don't look at the outside world for any type of validation or appraisal, or even that validation, you know, like, go within and get in there, do the hard work, take some time to walk away, you know, to have that emotional release, whatever it is that you need to, you know, purge and cleanse from within, and to see things from a higher perspective. Nurture your heart, nurture your wants, your desires, your passions. And we have Archangel Azrael with the Death cards, about endings. Completions are at hand. Take time to let go, to grieve, and to heal. Exactly. Allow yourself to, to cry. Tears have so much healing energy to them. They also help us to relieve ourselves of pain. It's a natural mechanism that the body offers for us to heal. So allow yourself to cleanse. Use that purifying water to heal from the past, to heal from maybe choices that you've made that you felt were unfair, or that you had no other choice at the time. These were the only two choices that you had, the only thing available, and so you made what you thought was the best choice, and allow yourself to have that understanding and compassion for yourself through all aspects of your life. You're being offered this opportunity now to step into a new role, into a new position, into a new beginning, where you are more nurturing of your own desires, of your own wants, of your own needs. Celebrate yourself, see yourself from a different perspective, acknowledge everything that you've been through and that you overcome, and step out of the shadows and into the light. We only have Bridget, inner fire. Let your passions lead you to your purpose. Follow your heart. Follow this light that's being given to you, this new beginning, this chance to surrender, to purge the past and to move forward. That is what this eclipse is offering you, is a change, to get out of the box that you may feel trapped in, into the role, into the position, into the life that you feel stuck and limited by, and see things from a different perspective. Maybe focusing a little bit more on your own needs, on your own family, your personal life versus everybody else's expectations, maybe society's viewpoints and everything, trying to fit into a mold that you don't quite fit in anymore. These are old, outdated belief systems and structures, and it's time to build and create and grow something that comes from within your own heart, from within your own being, and to bring that forth, to start something new. Yay! I'm happy for you, pile number 2, this new beginning. Have faith and belief that you can overcome everything that you've been through, that you can free yourself and transform out of feeling like you're trapped, or like you can't move forward and you have nowhere to go. You're gonna see that you're being guided. Listen to I want to say music came through. Listen to some music that will also help you shift the energies out, help remind you that you do have movement, that there are places where you can adjust and you can realign to something that is more happier, more in alignment with your truth and then with your higher self and your passions. Alright, pile number 2, this was your reading. These were your messages from the Eclipse Portal. If you resonated with this reading, I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that pile number 2 is your reading. Thank you so much for being here and showing support. Wishing y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. You were drawn to this card with the green opal. Now, it was pretty funny that this came out, because green opal to me represents growth and abundance, prosperity, Mother Earth, grounding. And we have this card here. You actually got 2 cards that came out. And the first one is about luck, things being in your favor, but also taking chances and relying on chances or fate. It's also your perception of fate and your luck and opportunities. So, and it came out with this card here, which is about, perception of yourself and how you see yourself, how you see the situation. I feel like this has to do with the relationship. Maybe you are maybe tricking yourself into seeing things in a a different way than they actually are. Like seeing things, the real events. Maybe you want to see things a certain way, and you're wanting to believe, oh man. Alright, so more information. It's about a relationship, and maybe you're taking a chance, maybe you think things are going to change, you're wanting to see things from a certain perspective, and it's almost about like disillusioning yourself, you know, lying to yourself about the truth of the situation. This isn't, take what applies. This might not have to be with a relationship, but some of you definitely this has to deal with a relationship. Some of you this could be about your perception of self and how you see yourself, or maybe there's an event or a situation that you are relying on your perception, and your perception of that isn't exactly the truth of the situation, but you're willing to take a chance on it or on them. But the truth is, only you know the truth. Only you have the ability to change it, to shift your perspective. You hold the cards, right? You are the one who's in control of how you see the situation, and you know the choices that you're willing to make or take. All right, let's get some more. More cards. We have share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. Yeah, I feel like this, you're not sharing the truth maybe of your perception, the truth of your emotions, how you feel, how you see things. Let's see what else we got. You have 3 of these cards come out. Let's see, pile number 3. We have protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords and soul retrieval. There's a little bit of sage on here. Yeah, there needs to be some cleansing, some purifying, letting go, shifts in choices. Setting up healthy boundaries. Starseed, what lights you up? Okay. Yeah, I feel like you have been like settling for less than you deserve. Maybe you think that this is the hand that you were dealt, so you just, you know, almost like disillusioning yourselves to be okay with the situation, with the person, with this job, with this environment that you're in. And you feel like if you were to actually share your truth, that, you know, consequences of that are going to be devastating. Maybe you're not going to be heard, you're not going to be seen or validated. Maybe in your past it meant something really bad. Maybe you had abusive parents, and you're afraid. There's a little bit of fear attached here. Afraid that you're not good enough, and so you're willing to settle with what you have, or what's been dealt to you, what's been given to you. Alright, let's see what else we have. We have Jupiter. I was just feeling Jupiter coming out with here. It's time for you to expand, to grow, to let go of this individual, this lifestyle, this job, whatever it is that you've been, you know, almost kind of like trying to fool yourself into believing, you know, that your luck will change, everything will shift eventually, or that this person will change eventually, and they'll be your knight in shining armor, and it just hasn't happened, you know. So it's time for you to take action, to move forward, to go on a new adventure, to expand your horizons, expand the way that you see things. We have guarded and vulnerable. Holding patterns. Left heart chakra. Okay, yeah. So during this eclipse, yeah, you're going to be, some truth's going to be revealed to you about places where you are taking unnecessary risk, and where you're not protecting yourself, and that you've kind of left yourself a little bit vulnerable to other people taking advantage of you. And you're being asked to take some action, to cut some cords to these types of energies, to stand up for yourself, to express yourself, to follow your heart. Disharmony and triggers. All right, so yeah, there's that conflicting energy here. We have harsh communication coming out too. I definitely felt like there was some kind of relationship that, you know, where the way that the communication is very toxic and not healthy. And it's actually hurting your inner child, because it's affecting the way that you see yourself. Yeah, there's the belief systems coming out. And it's something that comes from childhood, like you were conditioned to, you know, to tolerate this, that maybe this is what you were taught, that this is what love looks like, this is what's acceptable, and that the way that they perceive you is your truth, that this is who you are, and, you know, you're allowing them to be the people who dictate how you should live your life, how you see yourself, even how you treat yourself. I feel like you feel like alone and isolated. Nobody sees you, nobody appreciates you. You know, like you've been forced to be something for everybody else, and that you have to be perfect, you have to look a certain kind of way, you have to do, you know, things to make everybody else happy, and you've like lost that connection to yourself and to your truth. Oh, we have Mercury with messages, and I feel the caduceus staff is sticking out for me. It's a time of healing for you. During this eclipse, it's time for you to heal yourself, to give a voice to your inner child, to your own wants, your own needs, your desires, to call back your power, to stand up for yourself, to set some healthy boundaries, to demand respect, to demand to be treated a certain type of way. Of, you know, respect. And when somebody says that they're sorry, that they're changing their behavior, they're no longer inflicting that pain or looking for an excuse why it's okay to do X, Y, and Z to you, because, you know, within maybe 20 years ago you did something to them. Sorry about that, had a little visitor. Okay, so it's also time for you to go within and to learn from your triggers. What is it that triggers you into feeling like you aren't good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're not lovable, you're not valued, you're not seen. Understanding where does that come from? You know, it's going into the past, protecting yourself, acknowledging these fears that you have, helping your inner child feel supported and loved. by addressing your inner child's fears. What are their needs? Where do they feel like they have a lack of love, of confidence? It's about self-love and self-respect, and setting those boundaries to protect yourself against anybody who doesn't see your light, who doesn't see your heart and see your worth and your value. And if you yourself don't see your own worth and your own value, you will attract people in your life who don't see your worth and your value. You have to grow that within yourself. And when you learn to have more self-respect, where you learn to protect yourself from anybody who just wants to take from you and use you and then throw you away like trash, you have to be the person who says, no, I don't want people like you in my life because you're not good for me. You don't see me, you don't see my truth, you don't see my value, you just want to break my heart. And that's where you have to learn to protect your heart, to take action, set healthy boundaries, and know who is good for you and who's not good for you, so that you learn to have healthy relationships by having healthy boundaries and learning to love yourself more and have more self-respect and self-love and self-care, protecting your inner child, which essentially is your heart. We have Libra, balance. Yes, you deserve a balanced, healthy relationship. And we have these two snakes here. It's about giving and taking, reciprocation. You offer your heart, they offer their heart. They're not criticizing and demanding and, name calling and just very toxic and abusive and trying to justify why it's okay for them to attack you or be passive aggressive or say whatever they want to say, apologize for it, and then turn around and do it again. Or say they're not going to do certain things and then they go around and do them, Tell you that they love you, but they're over here cheating on you, Like their words don't match their actions. You're looking for somebody who is balanced, who's stable, who is more respectful, who validates your needs, and is trying to be an equal partner to you, right? Because I feel like this is a love relationship. I really picked up a lot of relationship energy from this reading. So, and it's about you learning to have more love for yourself so that you attract people who love you with that same type of love. If you don't love yourself enough and you think that you deserve to be punished and to be treated like you're a piece of crap, that you need to be yelled at, you need to be cheated on because that's how you were raised and that's maybe the relationship that your parents emulated for you. This is how, this was okay for them, so this is okay for me. I feel like that's not your truth, that you've just been settling for this because, it is a comfort zone. It is what is known. This is what you know as love. And you deserve something better than that. And it's time for you to take action, to protect yourself, see your light, to protect your heart, to heal your inner child, heal those belief systems that make you feel like you're unworthy of, and to bring in more balance, more happiness, and more love back into your life, to claim your power, call your power back. We have proposal. Yay, we have that. A romantic or a business opportunity is indicated. See, true love is on the horizon for you. It is meant for you. It is in the cards. But you aren't seeing your worth and your value. You are settling for less than you are worth. And you're telling yourself that you're happy, but you're not really happy. We have the sun. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. I love that. The sun coming out in your reading too. And the other readings we had at least the sun. The sun has come out in every reading actually. And we have the equinox on the horizon, the spring equinox. So during this time frame, we're in the center of the eclipse portal now. You're going to be going through a lot of shifts and changes in your perception, and you're going to see where you've been allowing other people to treat you less than your worth and not seeing your value and your potential. And you're going to start really finding your balance and learning to love yourself, see the truth of the situation, of the people that are in your life who say they love you. And you're going to learn to start setting those healthy boundaries for yourself. And you're going to change your belief systems on how you believe, you know, how you see your worth and your value. We have Tanzanite. Oh, wow. Dazzling honesty and eternal partnership. Look at that coming out with the rings here. You are meant for true love. You know, you are meant to have somebody in your life who values you, who loves you, that equal partnership, but you have to establish that within your own self first, right? And we have these little hamsters here, and hamsters are, they remind you to have playful interactions in your relationship, you know, to be a little bit more lighthearted, and things should be, you know, our relationships should be fun, they should be inspiring, they should remind us of our light, of our power, our strength. They should help us build our confidence in ourselves and our abilities. I feel like you need to definitely spend some time with yourself, maybe spending some time out in nature. You might be receiving messages in your dream state. Maybe spend some time meditating, going within, and understanding your belief systems and where they come from, and being honest with yourself about your truth, about your feelings, about your emotions, about the things that you're lying to yourself about, you know. It's having that healthy relationship with yourself. Stop lying to yourself and trying to trick yourself into believing that this is happy and, you know, this is your soulmate, and it's really not. You know, they're treating you like trash. They don't respect you. They don't hold you at a high regard at all. You're last man on their list. You know, they put themselves first. They don't think outside of themselves at all. It's all about their own needs and what they want, and everybody needs to bend to their, you know, to their way. And learning to shift out of attracting those types of relationships because you think that's what you deserve, and you're trying to fool yourself into thinking that you're happy, but you've just gotten yourself into a comfort zone, and it's almost like being, you know, sorry, I'm not going to say that you're lazy. I feel like you just are complacent. You just feel like you have no power, and, you know, who else would love me, or, you know, I'm not good enough because maybe I've made some choices in the past that weren't very, very good, so this is my hand, this is what I've got dealt, and I'm just going to deal with it, you know. And no, it's time for you to take a chance on yourself and to allow yourself to be more open and receptive to seeing that you are deserving for something more in your life, for people who love you and validate you and are easily open to that give and take, and having healthy boundaries and respect, and even communicating from a place that is honest and truthful and respectful and loving and tender. You know, you're deserving of all those things. Oh, look, we have the Star Mother, Ramona, Heart's Desire. Honor the deepest desires within your heart. This ignites your soul song and lights your path. Follow your heart's desire. That's right. Follow your heart. Follow your passions. And following your heart doesn't mean like, oh yes, you know, I can forgive them because they cheated on me, you know, 3 times, and they told me that they're sorry, and they've done better, you know, the past couple months. They've really been trying. But then the minute something bad happens, they're right back there treating you like trash, you know, running around and cheating on you because they, you know, just acting on whatever makes them happy, and they could care less about you. That's not following your heart's desire. That's, again, allowing you to be taken advantage of and to be disrespected and to break your heart. That's not protecting your heart. And, you know, you're actually just allowing anybody and everyone to kind of take advantage of it. And, you know, our hearts are very delicate, and you have to see them like, you know, it's a piece of glass, and you're the person that you're choosing to love and to offer your heart to. You know, you want them to see that as a precious gift and to hold it as something sacred and fragile that they need to protect and honor. And when you're offering it to just, you know, anybody who's reckless with it, you know, they're going to throw it on the ground, they're going to break it, they're going to smash it, they don't care, that's not their heart, you know what I mean? You're to dumb person who gave it to me. So you should know I'm not to be trusted. But yet you keep going, but yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't you see me? Don't you love me? I'm offering this. I'm very forgiving. I love you through all your faults. You know, hopefully if I love you enough, you'll eventually love me. And it just doesn't work that way. You know, you end up emptying your cup over and over and over again, and they just keep taking and taking, and you're left with nothing. And it is because you're giving it away to the wrong person. So it's learning to have more self-love and to protecting your heart, because it has been hurt, it has been broken, so it is very fragile, and you shouldn't just offer it up to anybody. Not everybody is worthy and deserving of your heart, and you have to learn how to heal and protect your heart and be more picky about who is, you know, going to be able to have that honor of having your heart, you know. Oh, we have Kuan Yin, enlightened action, choose compassion, move forward with grace. And that's the thing, you can have, you know, compassion for others and choices that they make that get them in situations that, you know, are very, you know, harsh. And sometimes people have to suffer consequences for their actions. Like, you can't keep treating people in this type of way and think that they're going to sit around forever and wait for you to change. Like, it's time for you to have more love and compassion for yourself and to decide to walk away, you know, and do what's best for you, and to heal your inner child so that your inner child's not sitting there thinking like, nobody loves me. Even my own adult version of me doesn't care about my feelings and how I feel and the way that I want to be loved and taken care of. They just allow everybody to treat us like shit, you know? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you this harsh reality. This is like, I've seen it so many times, and it breaks my heart because, you know, people just don't, you know, unfortunately, people who are like that, like you, are very empathic, and we have very much love and compassion and understanding of people and where they come from and what they've been through. And we allow people to, you know, do horrible things to us and give them the benefit of the doubt and try to see them from a higher perspective and allow them that they're making mistakes, they're doing these things because of what happened to them in their past, you know. And the thing is, though, when you bring it to their awareness that they have hurt you and that their behaviors are causing this, you know, conflict and tension in the relationship, then they learn how to change and grow and move forward from that, and not to keep using it as an excuse to treat you like shit, or you to use that as an excuse for them to treat you like shit. You know what I mean? Both of you should be acknowledging where the other one's, you know, faults and weaknesses are, and then growing and moving forward from that together as a partnership, you know. Yes, we come from this, I come from this was my pain, these were my struggles, and so how can we help each other to grow and move forward from that, and growing together in love, not using it as an excuse to like damage and screw each other up even further, you know. And if having these conversations with your partner doesn't seem to progress and move forward, or they're growing, they're not continuing to repeat patterns over and over again, then you know, you can move forward to people like that. But if they're not doing the work, they're not changing, they're just making excuses, it's time for you to move on, you know what I mean? And to cut those cords and to set that boundary and say, no, I am sick of this. And guess what? See what they do, you know what I mean? You can't just use it as a threat. I mean, we shouldn't be going around threatening each other to leave if you don't change, you know what I mean? But eventually there comes a time where that has to be the case, where you finally just decide, like, look, I can't do this anymore, you know what I mean? You have to love yourself enough to be willing to make that choice, okay? All right, pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and close your reading down here. These were your messages from the Eclipse Portal. I feel like this is the transition you're going to be going through. I feel like you're finally going to make that choice to do you and to love you more than the relationship that you're in and what you've been tolerating for so long. So, sending you so much love. If this was your reading, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you feel like sharing your story. Or if you don't know what to say, just let me know. Pile number 3 was your reading. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for your support. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.